pan, tilt, truck. Oh no, that's a truck. That's a truck. That's a push. Zoom. This is a dolly. Ooh, that's the real Lenora. Hey, how's it going there? Looking at my feed. How are we doing today? It is Friday. We're try to do some stuff today. We're trying to have a clean show today, guys. Clean show. Clean show means that there's no mistakes. And we have some background music going on by my great, the real Lenora. She's singing up a storm in here. How's it going? If you have joined yet, I'm going to be looking for some feed interaction. Wow, this black is a little much, huh? A little much on the black because it's creating quite a contrasty effect. I don't know how I felt like that was a good idea, but we'll give it a shot. Yeah, welcome to the real Marcoux. How's it going, folks? Looking for a little engagement to get this thing going. But if you happen to be on the YouTube and looking at the stream, you can see that I put a little tease in there. If anybody on the feed can chime in and tell me what that is on the bottom left, sort of. What is that graphic? Let me know in the feed, and you might get some bonus points. Whatever that means. But I'm really excited. I have been getting a lot of engagement, despite what some people may think. Actually getting a lot of engagement. I probably have I have such a great special guest. I've been looking a lot at the analytics and stuff like that, and in this kind of format, this weird brand that we're creating, we actually are getting about 96% viewing hits, which I consider attendance to me. A lot of headroom today. About 96% viewing and hits, so that to me is attendance. That's to me is engagement. That looks better. You know what? That's the way I should do it. That's the way this format should be, because see, the light comes on my face, so that brim has really been messing me up. So perhaps I need to, be a 90s guy. So 96% viewing hits and 90%, I'd say, assignments engaged. We have, oh! Good job, Lenora. That was awesome. That was super experimental, dude. High five, experimental. Yeah, dude. All right, so, I have an awesome guest star who's popping in and out of here, helping out with a little bit of the buzz up in here. And, so 96% viewing or hits, 90% assignments engaged. I'm seeing about 60% virtual critiques online. So, 24/7, we have people that are critting each other, students that are critting each other on the IG pages, the real IG pages. What's nice about the brand, is that I made it that way, so it was easy for me to search my students. So everyone had the real account. Oh, are you okay? We're having a tough time getting this clean show going, guys. It's sort of clean, but that's okay. A clean show is one that has everything going for it, and you can't really see the hands that are creating the thing as it's being created. So if I do make a mistake, what I'm actually working on is trying to come up with like internal sound effects for me, so that way you think something's happening on purpose. Like if I see my mouse move around on the page, I'm going to try to be like a, so that way you feel like it's actually part of my graphics package. I don't know if that's working, but we'll give it a shot, guys. But again, we have about 60% of students critiquing online, so I see that as thorough engagement. I'm really proud of you guys. Keep this going, and I look forward to seeing more engagement. In fact, I had asked you guys about this bottom super, and right now I'm just kind of keeping things moving, because in this live stream format, oftentimes live streamers, they won't even get started until they see that sort of engagement that they're looking for. I worked on my light a little bit, kind of played with the softener a little bit, just so I could see if I could get a little bit more light on my face. Because one thing I noticed is in trying to perfect this sloppy thing, that I was getting a little dark compared to my first shots. After you've been doing a show for a while, you start to have a pile of rundowns, sloppy rundowns, that you look through, and you start to see your format developing itself. And you try to fine-tune that. So I've not really worked on lighting in this composition or anything. And again, a little bit too much headroom today. but I don't know, work that out. But I am seeing the engagement. Another thing I noticed is that with the backwards polars, it was kind of getting me a little bit like verklempt. So noticing the real Marcoux kind of like, oh, warning. Oh no, I don't like those. But we'll work with those. So this is not a clean show. Totally deaded show. Oh, that is so terrible. But that's okay. Welcome to the real Marcoux. I hope you guys are all doing well. I did want to get into some stuff. I'm not seeing anybody engaging on the live feed, but if you had seen the first little bits of that show going on, we dropped a lot of frames. You could see that I had a little graphic in the bottom, so if you can get on the feed and let me know what that graphic was, we'll work on that. I had about one viewer, one concurrent viewer for a moment. Sorry, concurrent viewer, just like left you out in the pasture with this little feed that I had going here. Ugh, tough. All right, well, that's part of the game, folks. You most likely are still hearing my voice a little bit, because last time I looked at it, and you could see kind of my... Ooh, it's saying it's good. Warning, stream rate. Oh, exhausted Marcoux. Gonna talk like this while I figure out the stream. Oh, why do I have to do this? So annoying. Because I'm gonna just dismiss that thing. Stream finished. Let's create a new stream. See if that works for 6 minutes in. The real Marcoux. So painful. Really wanted a clean show today. Not really working to my advantage. Definitely not recording this separately later. Why the heck do I have to make these segues? Basically because the real Marcoux still figuring this out. I thought I had that worked out. Episode 10.2. Yeah. Create the stream. Give it a shot. We're gonna give it a shot, folks. We'll see if we can get it going. I really hope this works. Only got a few moments to copy and paste this key into my preferences in OBS. Gotta copy and paste that stream key. Okay, we'll stop the streaming in OBS. Okay, we'll go to preferences in OBS. Okay, we'll go to the stream setting in OBS. Okay, we'll paste that key in OBS, Command V. And we will, I love key codes, folks. Key codes are the bomb if you're still watching. Oh, I got C. Lopez, the real you set, straight up, the real Pat F. I'm so psyched that I have a little engagement. Hey, if you guys are on the feed, let me know what you saw. If you saw anything about what that graphic was, let me know in the feed. I would love to see that. I know you're on latency, so it's part of the game. I'm going to start streaming over here, and let's see if we can get this going. We're going to go lightning round. We're trying to get this lightning round going so we can get the second stream moving. We are working towards it. Let's see if it really happens. I don't really know. If it doesn't, it's getting close to not doing what I want it to. We'll see. It says it's an excellent connection. Oh, we can go live, and we'll give a live. Try to go to the clean in the second show, and it's going live. Oh, and I am live on the second stream. We're giving that a shot. It says I have excellent connection. If this crashes again, I'm not going to get that second feed going, but if you could see it. Yo, what is that graphic on the bottom of that page that I put down there? I would love to hear your feedback. So, anyways, the Real You Set. Shout out to the Real You Set. Really staying engaged, keeping all his projects done, giving people great crits. And I noticed you're the Real You Set up on his story feed. So check that out and give him a little critique if you feel. If you haven't done a critique yet, feel free to critique somebody else's work or newer work, and just put my @the Real Marcoux on there so I can notice that you did a virtual critique. That is going to be part of my end of quarter grades, because as you know, we are kind of in this experimental realm. And a lot of educators might be watching every now and then. This is really a grand experiment in media literacy and how we can engage students in a different format, something a little bit less stale and a little bit more connected. Connectivity is the key. Okay, so yeah, working on the little bits of glitches so I can use those glitches in order to kind of, because I'm bring these things together. You're seeing my builds happen. Builds. So in graphics, I used to be in graphics in the Dirty Dozen for a long time, and working on Chiron. And with that, I used to I'd make animations, I'd make graphics, I'd make things that you could see that would kind of tell you the information you needed to know visually, because we try to create a visual auditory experience when you're in the news. Yeah, so I've been getting about 96% viewers and hits, so I'm noticing that for my attendance. 90% assignments engaged. Seriously, I have tons of work that I'm downloading. We had 5 assignments created last week. This week we created an extra 2, and already I've received about 50% of those new 2 assignments at least, and those are due on Tuesday, early morning. So I can check those out and wrap up the grades, because we are on episode 10, folks. We're working on building towards what I'm thinking about building towards the season finale. The season finale probably is going to happen on Wednesday next week. So that way maybe when we come back from break, we can have The Real Marcoux Season 2. So I appreciate anybody's feedback. If you've got it, please give me feedback. Send me an email, send me a message. Tell me what's good, tell me what stinks. Tell me what you would like to include it in The Real Marcoux. And also, I've talked about, we built up our real distance zones. If you've developed your real distance zone and you feel comfortable, feel free to try to call me in and break this thing, because I love breaking things. Not physically, but just like breaking little tools that I'm trying to work out so I can get it better and working a little smoother. But so far we have an excellent connection on the second live stream on the YT, and I leave those up there so that we can kind of see my process. This is really a build-in process that we're working towards. So yeah, builds are things that you would develop, whether it be an edit, whether it be a graphic package, a sting, like in the beginning you saw my sting over here. And so this was my sting. It was going to be like, oh yeah, watch us. We are Tapafilm production house. That is a great shot. And yeah, we're going to leave that because that was my sting. That was like kind of like, oh yeah, that is what you're going to go. So what is this thing right here? If you guys can tell me what that thing is in various chat forms, I would love to let you know. Or let everyone know what that thing is. That is down there on the bottom. I have this really cool thing that identifies our big C-SPAN winners 2 times in a row. Super champions, super proud. We're about 15 minutes in, folks. And yeah, we got some an interesting show today. This is the episode 12. Not a clean show, folks. It's episode 10. And so, yeah, big 1-0. It's kind of weird that we're going to maybe have episode 13 as the potential end of season 1. We're going to work on season 2. But let me know. And I'm, again, teasing that fact. So, yeah, if you keep tuning in, I like to tease a lot of stuff that you might see towards the end of this. A lot of ums today. Got to agree with myself that there's a lot of ums today. We're working on it. All right, so I get these little catchphrases I pop in there when I'm trying to recollect my thoughts. I was thinking also like things that I could coin that were specific to the show, like that thing in the bottom. It has a specific name, but I gave it my own name. I call it the Raiden bar. Raiden, because you got Ray and Aiden, so I put them together and made it Raiden. Not funny. So, But yeah, I'm trying to build in these things that would be maybe specific to the show. And again, you see repetitive things that I bring through the episodes that I try to repeat. And so that way, when someone tunes in, they're comfortable. They're like, I'm going to tune to the real Marcoux. I know what to expect. So that's kind of an important thing on building your brand, is that you're making someone comfortable with the things that they're about to see. Again, it's very dim today. So this hat's probably going to get even more and more sideways as I try to let more light reflect on my face. We'll see how that works. Yeah, so welcome to the real Marcoux. I've said the real Marcoux like 12 times, and people are super annoyed. I can tell. But I'm not going to let it hurt my feelings. It's okay. We're trying this thing. We're flying this ship as we sink it, flying this UFO as we land it on the real Marcoux. So yeah, I was showing you that thing, and we'll see if you guys get. I thought these were kind of funny, actually. Ooh, this is not a clean show. I kind of pulled out their eyes. I was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, what if we had one of these kind of graphic bars that was like on your eyes? And I am not getting the engagement that I want, because I wanted an answer about like what that graphic that you saw below might actually be, and having trouble actually pulling that buck out, but it was actually one of these. There we go. Yeah, so if you could tell me what that is, let me know. But I did want to get into some virtual critiques eventually. Shout out to the real Elijah. He came out with a great The Real Distant Zone. And this is his zone right here. You can see, oh, what a wonderful light that's captured. That's just like kind of kissing these characters right here. It's just like giving a nice retention between highest highlight and darkest dark. So we really get that light cutting in through the window and seeing these two characters as they're about to interact. Kind of an OTS shot, an over-the-shoulder shot, again in graphics and time-based media, television, and stuff like that. We come up with these short-form terms because we have a lot to think about. OTS stands for over-the-shoulder. But yeah, we talked about graphics, and I showed you that other graphic. And since you've been tuning in for a while, I'm going to just spill it. That's a super. It's a super. Or a lower third. It's something that kind of identifies what's going on, or an infographic. You might get things like a snipe. That's an interesting one, where you have something that kind of animates in, and then like animates, and it says like, oh, tune in to the real Marcoux next time, and then it goes, or it says like, ooh, hashtag the distant real zone, right? Make sure you get the hashtag, and it leaves. It's just kind of like an abstract thing that comes in during the show and then disappears like an animated graphic. Those are really fun to create, and oftentimes they have a see-through background, so it seems like it just snipes in and snipes out. Also, you might have a crawl, like info text that goes side by side, and you have like live real-time stuff that goes on. That would be a crawl. Additionally, as far as graphics are concerned, you might have, scrolling text that goes up or down, rolling text up or down, and a bunch of other stuff. This is a live bug up here, a live bug, so like a graphic or a logo that always tells you what's going on in the program. Guys, we're 18 minutes in. I did want to get into some virtual critiques, and I wanted to have a clean show. I have a bunch of ideas. I did have a rundown. I have thousands of rundowns that I'm looking through. So, trying to keep it going with the color here, and call in. Yeah, if you feel free to call in or something like that, I'd love to try to break this thing on an episode 10. But yeah, let's kind of go through some of your stuff online. Again, there was Elijah, the real Elijah, making it happen. This one, I have to say, we see you, famous Mama Michael. We see you, man. This is a up-and-coming film major for Tappa Film that is, you start following me right away, so I was like, I'm going to keep you engaged. You're a lower schooler about to jump into the real zone with the upper school film majors, so we look forward to you. I love the way you did this graphic and slightly blurred a couple of the letters in there. If you look at my story, you can see I broke the thing to create a really cool effect, like a 3D effect with the font. So take a peek at that font. It has a 3D effect, and I just did that with IG. And tell me what you think I did, because it actually was about 4 layers of the same font that I just layered over one another to capture this kind of weird effect. Put on some 3D glasses, see if it works. As a little clue. Yeah, so shout out to you, the famous Michael. I did want to get into, okay, so we have this magnificent piece created by the real Jonathan, and, you know, this is The Real Distant Tease 1, or The Real Distant Tease, and he took his blue zone. He has this really nice camera movement, kind of this sliding handheld that works over. One thing I critiqued him on personally was I was like, hey, maybe a little bit of sound. Like I could hear a little background sound, but then I could hear a little contact on the actual camera itself. So try to avoid contact sounds on the actual camera, because that takes us out of the illusion. But I do kind of like hearing room tone. Room tone is an interesting thing. So if you have a chance, if you like your room tone, try to stay quiet on everything else. That way that room tone really has that ambient vibe to it. But great job, the real Jonathan. I did want to give a shout out to the real Caden. Created an excellent real distant zone, and I can't wait to see your real distant tease, because what you're doing here is you're making social political statements with your work, right? I really appreciate that. This is kind of Dottism. I'm going to turn up the light over here, and that might actually help me out. I didn't even notice that. Just turning up the brightness on my screen helped out my lighting. So I'm going to do that. This thing's going backwards today. Back! Mr. Marcoux, how are you doing today? Well, I'm doing fine, Real Viking. I'm trying to do a virtual crit. Let's get back to it. Alright, so, you want to turn and face it? Sure. Alright, cool. He's going to join us in the crit. So, what do you think about this one, the Real Viking? Well, I really like how, Caden, the real Caden, I have to say that I like how you put the dollar bill right next to the female sign and the 40%. It gets me really thinking about, like, I don't know, you know, there's some deep stuff going on in here, and I really like it. I wanted to code this surrealist Dotist piece that is of the new age. I really enjoy this diorama, and I especially love your color palette. The fact that you assimilated the pink with the lighter pink is a really nice touch, and I love that flower on the bottom right corner, because it just kind of like sets it off. It makes my eyes bounce around the frame. And then the muted pink on the dress that is created is also another nice assimilation of that hot pink versus the midnight blue. I totally agree with you right now, Real Viking Dude. Thank you. I really have been trying hard on this. Well, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mr. Viking, for that extra critique. Yeah, so, and then you built in, the ripped up dollar bill. That, you know, it's interesting. Ripping dollar bills, I heard, is illegal, but who cares? You put the L in there, so it makes me say, like, the dollar bill's a real loser. Big loser this time of day. This era, the dollar bill is a big loser. Well, unfortunately, we're going to work on that. But yeah, you get another one. A nice crisp shot, nice detail shot of that set. So shout out the real Caden. Your work is exceptional, inspiring all of us here at Tappa Film. We are so excited. What amazing collection of shots on the Real Zone, giving you a good concept of like where this may go if this is set for a real tease. Also, feel free to do your Blue Zone and try to give me a call or something like that. We gotta go out with a bang on the season 1 finale. That's gonna be next Wednesday. So let's do that. So boink, 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 boink. See, I'm trying to make sounds every time I change it, so it is a clean show. So it's not like, oh, Mr. Marcoux just flipping the page or something like that. It sounds like I actually intended to do it this way. Boink. All right, the Real McKenna. Shout out to the Real McKenna. She had an excellent kind of storyboard fashion for her Blue Zone. So kind of really coming up with like where this monkey dude is going to go. I really love that. You see he enters the door. It's like this kind of lead shot to a follow shot to a kind of silhouette perspective of the monkey over here. So I can't wait to see what happens with your real tees. Shout out to you, The Real McKenna. We're about 24 minutes in, folks. We're going to try to keep this moving. The Real Maya, got to give you a shout out with your real tees. 3. Yo, that's awesome. Yo, check out that on The Real Maya is doing magnificent things, bring together that tee. She come up with some kind of multi-cut that's happening right there, and I really love that. Too much red, too much yellow. Yeah, we'll work that out. All right, backwards ripped. All right, warning again. I think the stream rate is messing up again. Lower than recommended, folks. That's all right. We're going to cut it probably a little bit short today. Hopefully you got a chance to see the Real Maya. Yeah. Working on the streaming, folks. Working on it. Working on getting the analytics right. And I can't. But anyways, anybody that's on the live feed, feel free to send me any questions. A lot of them today. Hi, I love you. To try to like tell me what's going on. Yesterday was a little bit more melancholy, and that's okay. It's okay to be a little melancholy every now and then. This is an episode 10, so I really wanted a clean show, but it's not really happening. That's all right. Oh, I threw my rundown on the floor. Pick this back up. Excuse me. All right. I really just wanted to do some virtual crits, and that's being painful today, unfortunately. Exit stream. This can be accessed again from the managed list. All right, buddy. Oh, what a pain. What a pain. Oh my God, someone's calling. There's like a spacey sound in the background. I don't know if you can even see this, but I'm just going to flick around just in case that I can see if I can see it later on. Shout out to the real Uset. Shout out to the real Ray. Shout out to the real Aiden, dude. Shout out to my teacher, folk. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the real Viking giving that first virtual critique, sliding around with his little... I just took a piece of paper and I ripped it. And now I can move him around and he can kind of like cut a little closer by himself. We'll see how that works, that illusion that I'm working out. Hey, the real Elijah, we just gave you a crit on the YouTube stream. I don't know if you saw it, but if you did... I'm going to give you a wave right now. Let me know. Let me know. I'm going to wave at all of you guys. I want to do that. Wave, wave, wave. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, the real stream is kind of busted and funky, but that's okay because that might give you a reason to give me a little more engagement on the real TV. The real TV. Ooh, that's an interesting concept. No, the real IG feed, which is where we began organically with the backwards Ripta. And a backwards Ripta assault when it came to distance education. I don't want to have to record this again. Again and again and again. Too much work. Too much work happening here. Anyways, yeah, so let me know what's going on out there. If anybody has some engagement, I'd love to hear your feedback. Anything? What was that thing I threw up there at the beginning? What was that thing on the bottom? I actually even told you before. However, I'm just like interested in seeing you guys come up with an idea for me. I don't know. Let me 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 know. Do I see anybody interacting? That's the next step, is getting you guys more interaction live. I'm seeing your views live, and I'm seeing your analytics that are like spiking. I was really psyched because my viewer retention went up a whole like 3% yesterday. just 3% of viewer retention. So how much longer you're watching the videos is actually improving. And I actually thought about like doing some tests today, like while I'm just like kind of talking about normal things. Maybe if I like acted like I was flipping out, that maybe as you're scrubbing through the YouTube, you would actually like stop and play it because you saw a lot was going on, something different. So I figured that that might actually be pretty useful, and see if that you're looking at this visually, and that's what's getting you to stop on the feed, or maybe go back and scrub. I'm watching it, M. Thank you. The real Elijah is the man. I love your shots, dude. You got like a cutting edge style. You just got like kind of a knack for this, and you're bringing it on your own. You know, I love how you always take an angle on something. How you're always like, I'm gonna get close to that window a little further so I can kind of like see it as a plane going off into the distance, some geometry in there, folks. So yeah, always focus on like how you can integrate these art forms with academics, because I love to see people bring that together. In fact, the real Maya, it was interesting when I first saw her real zone. The first time I saw the real zone was fantastic because it had Tappa in the background, so it was really cute to me, the fact that you were like showing off Tappa, and we can clearly miss coming home. We have a lot to come home to. We are an XQ Super School, so that's super exciting to see where the future may hold for us. And again, big shout out to the Raiden bar, getting that seriously amazing C-SPAN piece in there and putting us on a national stage. That is phenomenal stuff. Yeah, I gotta really quick stop that. And yeah, stop that. Alright, I'm gonna try this little experimental thing again while I get my third stream. I don't know why I'm even doing this, but I'm giving it a shot. I'm giving it a shot, folks. We're working on this. Let's see if that works. Okay, and start. And we'll see if this is actually going to work. I got an excellent connection, folks. We're going to try to go live on the third stream. We're going to bring it back. We're going to try to keep it a clean show. Clean third show. As the dude comes in, maybe... Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work. We're giving it a shot here, folks. So he's watching. He's tuning in right now. And we are about to go live. 3, 2. Okay, we are live on the stream for the third time. I got my little Viking dude. Weird internet today. I think it might have to do with the storminess. The weather's playing a funny trick on us, saying, you're stuck inside. Well, the weather's going to be terrible too. Haha. So we're dealing with that kind of garbage. Anyways, the real Elijah. Oh no, this is the real you set. I really like your work. Dude, you are doing fantastic stuff, and you're wicked engaged. So, anyways, I did want to show this one piece you got going here. Ooh, that is fantastic, bro. So, this is funny, if you can hear the words in it. He's actually teasing Tappa Film and, like, be a Tappa Film major type of thing with this pig. So, I really like that tease, the fact that you're engaging our student body to, hey, be a film major. Be a film major. We rock. We rock the boat. We rock this time-based media boat like no other. And we never sink it. So, moving forward. Oh, you know what? I really wanted to take... Shout out to the real Jamira. This is awesome. You know, capturing a dog in mid-stride. No motion blur. Wonderful retention to, like, the highlights and the darks. And then you lifted the shadows in post-production. So, and then you added a blue tint to the shadows. So, it's just this really wonderful composition, again, with the lines. So we have these kind of like angles working against each other. If you're working geometry, you could actually figure out what these angles are using your equations and stuff like that. But I love how you have the slant down, directional movement, contrasting one another, and then you lifted the shadows into this bluescape. This dog is so beautiful. But to capture things on the run, oh man, this is a really magical shot, Jamira. Great job, the real Jamira. I don't want to show you guys this real quick because this is my daughter. She did this fantastic thing. She's leading the Viking, but it's interesting because the auto white balance changes, so it makes it a little dim, like he's entering some sort of cavern or something. And what do you think? Well, I really like this piece a lot. Yeah, thanks. The real Juna actually shot that and edited it, and no editing, shot and wrote it. I thought that was fantastic. Great job, the real Juna. A little scary. with that snake coming in backwards style. All right, so moving it on. Let's get into some crits. Oops, that's my daughter's. Really cute. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to the real Ray. This is a wonderful piece. So I love how you took your Blue Zone. This is the first time I see it in black and white. He knocks over Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, that's my WWE voice. But when I saw this in black and white, I was just kind of like, oh, dude, your zone, whenever you do video conferences, they should always be in black and white. That might be an interesting concept. So I thought that was really neat, really, really fun. And again, shout out to the real Gimme 5, because that's a Gimme 5 award right there. Hopefully we'll get Gimme 5 going again full speed when things get going again. But it's an excellent film lab to make a film in a day. I've been involved with that for about 8 years on the steering committee, and we've developed some really fascinating things, and we're always experimenting with how we can engage students that want to make films on the fly. So great job, the real Ray right there. And if we can go back, so again, Tappa, we all miss Tappa so much. And it's fantastic to see this kind of different version of Tappa. And I love how the student is like this big character and the teacher's this little character. It really adds to the humor. Like, this little guy's going to teach this big guy. So there's interesting dichotomy there. But yeah, I really am excited about all your work. I'm going to just throw this out there just because I love it. And my daughters. And this was at the Glitter Goddesses had taken over the RISD Museum, and they were making the children make up their parents, make them glittered and do a little glam in there. Oh, warning on the stream. I guess that's going to be the end of the show, unfortunately. But yeah, so I got that warning again. I think it's because it's storming out, so I'm probably going to end that stream, but you can probably still hear my voice over there. That's okay. So yeah, not the clean show that I wanted today on an episode 10. What are you going to do? I'm going to get a sip of coffee over here. Exhausted Marcoux. Trying to work things out. I think there was some tidbits of knowledge in this. What do you think, Mr. Centaur? Mark? I moved him around. He looks a little crooked today. Coffee's cold. Coffee is cold. Coffee is cold. Anybody want to join the feed? No. Well, we got a little virtual critique in there on the YouTube, so you can take a peek at that. So you can take a peek at that if you feel like, I always critique on the IG. I critique with comments, like almost like right on the bat, and I think that that's important about engagement. Is that once you post something, I'm like, boom, I got your like for you, because I love it. I love your engagement. I love to keep moving forward and building your portfolio through these unprecedented times, and I want to show you that I'm paying attention. I'm really embedded in the movement of your artwork, and I want us to continue to push this like kind of exquisite corpse that it is, that we're, one person makes the head, one person makes the arm, one person makes the elbow. I'm really more of like the ankle or the earlobe of this exquisite corpse. But yeah, I want us to build this body of work together, as long as, and also we have these little micro bodies that are happening all along that exquisite corpse. So, little piece of Dadaism right there. If you feel like researching art history, look up Dada, look up surrealism. You'll see some interesting things that might inspire you. Yeah, so I think I pulled a few tricks. I did want a clean show. I did want a shorter show. We're 38 minutes in, folks. If you watch the stream, you can kind of see me developing it and creating it. I'm going to work on this a little bit so I get a smoother stream. I had my smoothest stream on Thursday, and if you have the chance to go through that for students, I did get a really robust student critique, I believe. Tell me, critique my critique. I'm critiquing your critique. I want you to become better critiquers. Confidants that we can work with. We are collaborative artists. We want to collaborate. We are virtually collaborating. This is what we are doing. I really hope so. Lots of headroom today, folks. Lots of headroom. The hat turned. Got my light. We'll see if that works. Let's see. Teas within a tease. Teas within a tease. Yeah, so get your teases in there. Again, they're due Tuesday early morning. So you have plenty of time on that. And if you find that you're missing something or something, check out your Skyward. You see what's blank. Or you can check out your Google Classroom. I'm doing it on a gazillion different formats. So that way you can see it in a bunch of different places, what you're trying to work on. You can see a little bit of my rundown here. I have a 2-pager today, a pile of stuff that's all collected, and filling up the Chateau Marcoux. Well, I got one font. No one's spamming my like button or nothing. No one gets my wink, my subtle, like, too much black. Not wearing all this black next time. This is my get up. If I'm going to go shoot a concert or something like that, I wear all black, because so that way you can't see the camera person moving around. So it's important eventually down the line, if you want to freelance, is to get like a black outfit. So that way you can be on a stage and no one can really see you dipping around with the camera. We're kind of like little snipers. And that brings me to another topic that I did want to mention. I keep talking about like how we're reinventing this art form, or reinventing potential jobs that we may be able to get. One thing I'm noticing is the social aspect of this. And I think that it might be interesting if down the line, somewhere in the future, if we were in this for a while or something like that, I actually see a lot of need for like social like moles, so to speak, that are out there and constantly checking for engagement, or seeing if like the right people are in the right place. Sometimes like we're potentially, different people come along or something like that, and they, just to kind of keep tabs on kind of the virtual world that's happening. So that way you protect also your virtual collaborators, and protect your movements. That way it doesn't get like sidelined by toxicity. So you always got to be careful of that stuff. Media literacy, you got to be careful about how you present yourself and how you put yourself out there. Yesterday you could see it was a very melancholy show. I had my like Mr. Rogers sweater on, and I think it kind of like captured that Mr. Rogers vibe or something like that, which was kind of fascinating. Again, no spamming the like button. That's okay. We're 41 minutes in, folks, so that was about a little 2-minute segue. Got segues within segues. I am not starting another YouTube stream. That's not happening today, because I gotta work that out a little bit. I definitely need to find a hardwire, but I was in my shed, I was in my basement, I could not find a hardwire, and I'm not trying to buy one right now. Bought enough stuff. Alright, so formats, game shows, news, stream, drama, soap opera, epic, cartoon. Those are a few different formats you could play around with. Again, build on your storyboard, screenplay, scripts, and structures. That way you can ad-lib, but have places for your ad-lib. Have a structure like an intro and an outro. We're going to see how this outro works today, but I don't know. You guys have any requests or anything like that? I mean, people like backwards flips, like... Any requests today, guys? I'd love to hear your requests. Working on my voice. My voice isn't that great, but I do have this interesting little tool that I can drag him in and out. See, it's a piece of paper. It's a strip of paper. There he is. Kind of like a stop-motion snipe. So he can come in and send you a message when I feel like it. Like, tune in next week for Monday's great show. We only have 3 more episodes left in this season, but we will do a season 2 once we get some reactions and some reviews. That's really nice, Mr. Viking. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate those plugs. Plug. So when I'm going to plug somebody, I'll plug the real Elijah, plug the real Luciana, plug, the real Ray, reality TV. Check it out. That's a plug. So it's like me taking my brand and encouraging another brand. I would love it to be able to toss to somebody, to be like, I'm going to toss to reality TV, and all of a sudden reality TV shows up and we're like, hey, what's up? Congratulations on your C-SPAN win, Raiden. And then you toss back. We're going to toss back to the real Marcoux. Where you at? Oh, my stream is still busted. I can't believe it. Part of the game, guys. Part of the game. We're working on it. Jeez, guys. Don't know where to go. Don't know where to go. Don't know where to toss. Don't know where to go. My graphics are all busted. I tried today. I tried this week. I think it was cool. It's a positive week. My goal was to create a real clean show, but that didn't happen. But that's okay, you know, like I'm going to do some soul searching and come back with even more different tricks to play on you guys. And definitely got to work this smooth stream thing going on. But we're working on it, folks. And, you know, I think it's going to come together. It was cool because this week we did have our first simulcast that went 5 days in a row. So there's something to be said for that. We did do some simulcasting. Again, you know, I got this started with just IGTV, and eventually built a little bit of audience and started going. But again, no pre-pro, no nothing, just kind of like building the brand as we go and trying to keep that engagement flowing, trying to do it on a regular basis, which goes into my tests. So if I go like this and stuff like that, we'll see if the big spike comes. We'll see if the big spike comes when I go like this, when I start acting all wild. And even though I'm just telling you real information and stuff like that, people might even start tuning in. People might start tuning in because like all of a sudden they think I'm rapping or something like that. I'm going to see if the spike comes through in the analytics, just if I'm moving. If I'm moving and stuff like that and my analytics work, then or my analytics spike, then I know that I should do more of this while I tell you real information. So like a super, right? A super is important because that's a lower third or something like that that could actually do some nice things. This is really backlit. Be careful by shooting your blue zones if you're against a window because you can't see the person, right? It just turns black, and that's terrible because we can't really see them. Also be careful of like, you know, like drinking a soda or something because you might be burping like I do sometimes, which is really gross and offensive. So don't do that because that's not very good. But I'm going to try to keep doing this just because I'm going to see if the analytics phase out. I don't know. That's a ceiling. That's how all my students talk to me. They're like, "Hey, Mr. Marcoux." Hey, that's 2020 showing the ceiling because you don't want to see what your student's up to. Yeah, guys, I don't know. We're about 46 minutes in, folks. We're going to cut this short because I do have a meeting going, but I do appreciate you, and I can't wait to come home. But we're going to make this as engaged as possible. We're going to collaborate because we only have one chance to do this, hopefully. Hopefully only one chance to do this. And I want to see where we can push it. So, again, shout out to all my team. Shout out to Tappa Film. Shout out to the teachers. Shout out to the students. Shout out to the families who provide us with the wealth that is your student body. The kids that you've raised are exceptional. I really love working with you guys, and I miss you guys dearly. I truly do. But yeah, I don't see any requests. I waved at you guys first time digitally. So I guess that's a little engagement from my side. Critique each other's work. Go to IG, go check out The Real, anybody. Give them a crit. Take a peek. Just keep engaged. Like their stuff. You know, just a little bit goes a long way to make us feel personally good. Whenever I get a like, I'm like, all right, you know, little success. Or, someone kind of thinks it's okay. Might be going in the right direction. 47 minutes in, folks. I think that's a good time to cut. This is episode 10. Tune in on Monday, and you're going to get a lot of special treats. I have a lot of special treats for Monday. Not really, but that's a tease. What are you going to do? Peace. Have an excellent weekend. And love, The Real Marcoux.